Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome to Science Seminar. Welcome back, if I may say. I stopped doing the seminars. Obviously, the situation, COVID interfered and stuff, and I really thought that this is important to bring it back because we have so many new people, and to understand the nature of our products, I thought is very important. So today I'm going to talk to you about Synergizer. And the theme of this presentation to me is clean, renew, and tune up. As you know, I'm sure you know that my trade is a surgical pathologist. So basically, I diagnose cancers. So what I discovered that health resides how clean the cells are. But the interesting thing is, and it is one of the theories of aging, the older we get, the ability of cells to clean themselves diminishes, or sometimes we simply lose it, as well as the level of our environmental, I call it dirtiness. We become polluted. So that's why, to me, the most important aspect in the cells is how to keep the cells clean. And what do I mean by dirty cells? Dirty cells is an abundance of oxidative, or the presence of oxidative stress. What is oxidative stress? Oxidative stress is a cellular garbage, or in medical term, it is an abundance of free radicals. What are the free radicals? So free radicals are the particles that are very angry and very hungry. They're missing an electron and they want it back. And how do they get it back? They latch on anything on their way, and that's how they damage or destroy the cells. So if they try to scavenge that electron from our nucleus, from our DNA, obviously it's going to affect the genes. We're going to talk about mitochondria. So they do that with different parts of the cell. So most important thing is, cell is a very wise, factory. It's a very wise. I'm missing the word. It's not an organism, but it's like a concoction that has inbuilt mechanism to clean the cells. And one of these mechanisms is called master regulator of cellular health, and it is an NRF2 activation. Our flagship product, NRF2 Protandem, as you see here on the slide, which is a combination of 5 botanicals: ashwagandha, milk thistle, green tea, turmeric, and it's been a long day. So let's somebody unmute and I'm sorry? Bacopa. Thank you, Dr. Leverand. Exactly. So that synergistic combination of 5 botanicals, as you see here on the slide, it is very clean. It has an approval of NSF, National Sanitation Foundation, which searches for toxins and certifies cleanliness of the products, and BSCG, which is safe for professional athletes, which is very important. The Olympic Games are starting in a few weeks. So we know that by the presence of multiple studies, 27 plus peer-reviewed studies, which you can go and read at your spare time, and they are found on my database. I strongly encourage you not to Google, but go on pubmed.gov and just do a little bit of the research, a little bit of a research snooping around to discover that, yes, NRF2 pertanda upregulates NRF2. How, and what is NRF2? So why NRF2 is so important? Well, NRF2, as you see here, for example, it is a protein complex. And it comes in different states of activation. When it is not turned on, cell is a very wise concoction. It's very wise organism. So it's not going to waste the energy. It's not going to waste the resources of NRF2. So when we are not under stress, when we don't have that free radical sort of attack, NRF2 is what is called inactive, sleeping, hibernating basal state. And as you see here, not only it is hibernating, sleeping, it is tight. It is bound. It's like a lock and a key. It's like a ball and a hinge. So now what happened is when we get this free radical attack, and I'm not talking diseases, this is the concept, this is conceptuality of this. What happens is the lock and key, this latch and hinge mechanism is going to get released. As you see here, NRF2 is free to do its job, to do its magic. And as you see here, it enters the nucleus. So what does it do? What is the such importance of NRF2? So when it is active, it turns on the good genes. We call it survivor genes. As of now, we know of 200 of them. And then when the job is done and NRF2 activates the genes, and I will show you later some of the most important ones, what do these genes do? They turn on the proteins, they turn on those enzymes that actually work to clean the cells, to wipe, to eradicate these free radicals in simplicity. And when the job is done, as you see here, it degrades, it goes back. So the beauty of pretandum and the beauty of the nature of the cell, that NRF2, it is quiet till it's activated. When it's activated, it does the job, then it goes back into the quiet state. This becomes weakened and this becomes flaccid when we age, and then it becomes poorly recognized when we are under this tremendous stress of free radicals. And stress of free radicals is caused by environmental stress of different modality. So this is NRF2, and that's how it starts cleaning the cell. And I told you then, when it goes and turns on those genes, and some of the genes you're going to recognize, and those genes are going to stimulate the production of, for example, glutathione. And glutathione is the master antioxidant of the cell. We absolutely have to have glutathione to think, because we need to clean the brain cells, and we need our liver to work. Every organ needs to work, right? But there are some major organs. And as you see on this slide, oxidative stress, as you see, it doesn't allow those enzymes to work. So we need NRF2 to start turning on those genes, and the genes are going to make those proteins to negate that oxidative stress. And here are the different examples of free radicals. Forget about it. You don't need to know the formulation. So now, okay, fine. You clean the cells. So then we need to renew some of the organelles. And let me ask you, in my mind, which organelle is the most important organelle? To me, it is a mitochondria. Why? Because there is no mitochondria, there is no life. It's as simple as that. Mitochondria to me is it's a motherboard. It's a hard drive of our cellular computer and cellular well-being and survival. Look at the function. I told you Mitochondria is our energy producer, because no energy cell is going to die. There is no ways around it. Now, look, it regulates innate immunity, mitochondria. I'm sure by now you've heard the importance of innate immunity in the situation we're living. How many of us would like to have a very robust, a very clear, a very vibrant innate immune system to recognize something that is floating around? Calcium homeostasis, absolutely. Heart doesn't function without calcium. Every cell doesn't function without calcium. Now, this, you may not understand this, programmed cell death. What does that mean? It means that the wisdom of mitochondria is to recognize that this cell went wonky, or this cell went mutated, something went wrong. This cell should not be here in the milieu of other cells because it is an abnormal cell. So that mitochondria execute the command, which is called programmed cell death, to kill that cell. So it doesn't need that. But the interesting thing is that killed cell, by the wisdom of mitochondria, is actually not going to be wasted. It's going to be consumed as the food. This is the mechanism that is called mitophagy or autophagy. Again, for some of you science nerds, you know what I'm talking about. But the bottom line is the wisdom of the healthy cell. Every step works, and every step is needed. And this is the whole essence. We need to keep those cells in that synergy and the synchrony of function. And the last one, as you see here, stem cell regulation. Wow, that is rather important, because if your stem cells go confused, they may start differentiating in something that they shouldn't be. So now let's go to the next slide and start thinking what the importance of mitochondria. Mitochondria, we need to look two ways. First, we need to look at the numbers of mitochondria. If the car has one engine, some cells have up to 2 million mitochondria per cell. So for example, brain has cells with over 2 million mitochondria per cell. Why? Because which is the organ that functions the hardest and consumes the most oxygen? Because we need more energy in the brain to think and function. If you find yourself in the middle of the day that you need a coffee or you need a nap, well, obviously your brain is not consuming enough oxygen. It gets tired. It needs more mitochondria. A, it needs NRF2, and then B, it needs more mitochondria. So okay, we need numbers, and the numbers go down with aging. It's just the way it is. But not that the numbers go down. The numbers go down because we get dirty. We get that polluted. We get that stressed from every which variety, especially including oxidative stress, which we discussed. So let's talk about renew. We're going to be talking about renew and reboot. Renew as the numbers. How can we turn on the numbers of mitochondria? So there are multiple ways, but let's talk about NRF1 pretandem. Again, this is a very simple combination. And thank you, Amy. Now I don't need your help because I've got it very nice and clear. So we have acetyl-L-carnitine, quercetin, grape of every part of this grape extract, alpha-lipoic acid, coenzyme Q10. Amazing ingredients on its own. Every ingredient is a super ingredient that is participating not only in renewing the numbers of mitochondria, but also in the function of mitochondria. Now, 5, as well as in NRF2, NRF1, it's built on synergy. So those 5, what are they going to do? We're going to this part of the slide. So in order for us to turn on again, you actually see the synergy between NRF2 and NRF1. So there are multiple genes that are upregulated by this. One of them, or we know, so that NRF1 protein complex and NRF1 gene in the nucleus, what is it going to do? It's going to turn the signal, make more mitochondria. So again, let's repeat, clean the cells and then start renewing. Okay, fine. So you renewed your mitochondria, so you've got the numbers. So what? If those reactions in mitochondria are not working, you're only going to increase that oxidative stress in the cell and entirely in the mitochondria on its own. So what do we need for those reactions? We need a catalyst. We basically need a spark plug. We need the ignition. What is the ignition for the mitochondria? It is called NAD. And look at this. So NAD needs for this. So, you know, we're not talking about sirtuins because we're more concentrating on energy production. But so this is the mitochondria. So then your NAD, antioxidants, and then multiple function of the cell. So without NAD, there will not be nothing of this. And then we're going to this part of the slide, which is very specific. Here, I wanted to show you again the repetition of the word NAD or NADH. And those green line, this green line, what does it signifies? It signifies what is called electron chain reaction. Don't worry, it's not that complicated. The bottom line is electron chain reaction means when we combine an oxygen with some food and stuff, and then through the biochemical reactions, there is a transfer of the electron. Why? So we have energy. So in the way of ATP, which literally gives us energy. So to transfer those electrons, sorry, I'm Russian, you know, you need NAD as your catalyst. So without this, the electrons are not transferred. Electrons are not transferred, they're creating free radicals. Your cell is not going to breathe, you're not going to breathe, you're not going to function. That is the importance of NAD. So again, so the Tri-Synergizer is, so before I get to Tri-Synergizer, so how can we tune up NAD? So we have an NAD pretendum, which is a niacin, cuprous niacin, and then proprietary blend. Now, the interesting thing about niacin is a vitamin B3, but vitamin B3, you need to transfer it into NAD. And it's very, very hard to do it. So you probably need to help with some boost, some upregulation or supplementation. Now, so let's go into this slide. So now we are going, we're talking about Tri-Synergizer. Why Tri-Synergizer is so important? Because it's this chain of synergy. So you're starting with cleaning and cleansing the cells, which inadvertently is going to boost your cellular function. And then you're adding your mitochondrial booster. You're turning on what is called mitochondrial biogenesis, or you're starting to stimulate the cells to make more mitochondria. It's not enough if you're not going to stimulate the catalyst of the cell. You need to boost your NAD. So you're adding the NAD pretendum. That's why Tri-Synergizer is so complementary and works. However, please don't negate the fact of healthy lifestyle. Even being on Synergizer, your health starts with your choices. And your choices reside on your positivity, your happy aspect, your sleep, your level of hydration with purified water. Definitely the foundation of health would be your choices of food. And sometimes minimizing it, because minimizing your caloric intake by maybe 1/3 inadvertently going to boost your mitochondria and the function of the mitochondria. And then you start adding your cellular supplementation and the cellular upregulation. And give me 1 second, please. I keep moving my things. So I stop sharing. So upon this, you know, that's why Synergizer is so important in that pattern of healthy lifestyle. And I have not elaborated when we talk about supplementation and cellular upregulation. We're going to move into the series of talks because we got to talk about microgut. Just running a little bit forward, when we started upregulating microgut, we absolutely have to introduce the Synergizer pattern. Your microgut will never be healthy if your gut is not healthy. In order for gut to be healthy, you need to implement the system of cleaning the cells, renewing the most important organelles, and tuning them up to the biochemical reactions. And then we talk about supplementation and cellular upregulation. What do we need to do? We need to think of essential fatty acids. So again, I'm going to be introducing different variety of topics. Today was the beginning. So thank you very, very much for giving me the opportunity. I still have about 5 minutes. I will stop recording and I will open it